guys, it's Stasia. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do a video that I've been both very excited for and very much dreading, but we're gonna do it anyways. I would like to preface that I am filming on a Saturday, meaning nobody's in school and most people aren't at work. I live right next to a little playground, so if you hear any kids or noise in the background, I apologize. But I did close the windows, so hopefully not a lot of sounds, but can't promise. Anyways, if you've seen the title, you know what we're doing today. If you did not know, I have a very big obsession for a very specific series, being the Caraval series. This entire pile, all the way down to the floor, you guys can't see the bottom, but this entire pile is just the Caraval trilogy in various ways, whether it be a secret cover or a foreign edition. It's all here. On top of all of this, I have lots of merch. If you are interested in seeing my Caraval obsession, I do have, I believe, like a 20-minute video showing you guys all of the Caraval related things I own. So I'll leave it in the cards and in the description if you're interested in checking that out. If not, totally fine. But today I've come after my own heart. I am going to do a video that, you know, most people have told me to do. And so we're gonna do it. We are going to be reading 1-star reviews for Caraval. I would not read any from Legendary or Finale because obviously potential spoilers. So please let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I could just like preface it and give a spoiler warning if they haven't read it yet. But I'm going to try to read the reviews that are spoiler free. So we'll see. If you don't know what Caraval is about, it's about these two sisters, Scarlett and Donatella, and they basically have always loved this like traveling game type of thing called the Game of Caraval. It's hosted by a mysterious man. No one really knows who he is, and yeah, so they've been wanting to go to this game for a while, and then they kind of gave up on the dream, and then they got an invitation inviting them to the Game of Caraval. Scarlett was kind of over that dream. She was like, ooh, not really, I don't feel comfortable, but she ends up going anyways after Donatella basically forces her. So it's basically these two sisters trying to figure out this world, trying to figure out what to believe, what not to believe, who to trust, who not to trust, this, that, and the other. It's a very fun book, I find. I gave every single book in the trilogy 5 stars. I know a lot of people don't like Legendary as much because we go to the other sister's perspective, but I loved them all, so that's fine. Anyways, so we're gonna do it. So it's actually not that bad. On Goodreads, they have an average of 3.96, like that's their average rating. So that's not bad at all, but there definitely are still 1-star reviews. So let's do it. Let's do it. So first of all, I will like to point out that this person says that they were interested because they were looking on eBay and the ARC was ridiculously high. I will attest to that. They're ridiculously high to get an ARC. I do have an ARC right here of Caraval. Still working on getting Legendary and Finale, but that's not what this is about. So this person says it's ideas stolen from a bunch of other books, the Lunar Chronicles, Hunger Games, Night Circus, and such. There was no originality here whatsoever. On top of that, it is boring. I disagree. I've never read the Lunar Chronicles or Night Circus. I've read the first book of the Hunger Games. I don't feel like it's fair, really, to say that it's like a knockoff of all of these books, because I do strongly feel like all books get inspiration from another book. I will not say that any books are going to be 100% original. Personally, I have not read the Lunar Chronicles, like I said, and I have not read the Night Circus. First of all, Caraval's not a circus, it's a game. But I'm not sure how the Night Circus goes. If it's a circus, then you're already wrong, because it's not a circus. Caraval's a game. And I don't believe it was boring at all. I felt like Stephanie Garber did a great job at taking you with the characters, especially because you don't really know what's going on either. Like, you are trying to figure out the game as the characters are, and I find that very fascinating and very fun to follow. I'm sorry you found it boring. Okay, so she didn't like any of the characters. She says Scarlet is gutless and way too naive. I'm not gonna talk about that because Scarlet did a lot of things and I would not pin her as gutless. But to each their own. That's fine, that's fine. I'm glad that she liked Dante and Aiko. They were some of my favorites, but I do like all of the everything. So, first 1-star rating. Even though I finished this book within a day, I feel so meh about it. I don't know how to review it whilst reading. I tried to think of one aspect that made it appealing. Now that I finished it, I can't think of a single one other than the cover. Okay, I find this to be a weird review because you finish it in a day, which it's not like necessarily a short book, but I mean, I finished it in a day, but I really loved it. So I find it weird that they can't find anything they liked after finishing it in a day when obviously something was engaging enough to keep you going. But I will agree the cover is pretty. So this person has a list. Number 1, the total tonelessness of the story. I know Stephanie Garber is a newbie, but she read her stuff with 0 style, 0 significant tone, and 0 special fragrance. I don't agree with that, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the second one where it goes shapelessness, world building. I feel like I got the whole world, but I mean I feel like that will come based on how much fantasy you read. I don't read a lot of fantasy, so I really do like straightforward world building that is not too extensive. But if you appreciate or like enjoy extensive world building, maybe you won't enjoy this one as much because it doesn't set up as much as normal fantasy does, but that was not a problem for me. Number 3, absence of mystery and sense of urgency. I just completely disagree with. The entire book is basically Scarlet trying to find her sister, and if there's definitely a sense of urgency because she's doing things that would otherwise be questionable for her character, like Scarlet's character, who she is as a person, because she wants to save her sister, like, quickly. So I disagree with this, 100%. Number 4, author's very poor attempt at character building. I disagree. I really liked the way she set up all the characters. I felt like they were pretty realistic in their mindset of thinking, and I would relate to Scarlet a lot. Also Donatella, like later on in the series as well. I feel like the characters were really well done. And her number 5 is the annoying insta-love and repeated mention of the male love interest hotness. First of all, Julian is hot, so it is what it is. That's just what it is. Julian's hot. Second, I don't necessarily think it was insta-love at all. If anything, I would say it's more targeted as like an enemies to lovers sort of situation, because it's not insta-love. She doesn't like him in the beginning at all, and she's basically forced into the situation with him. So I don't really understand how it's insta-love. I feel like it's more targeted enemies to romance, but that's just me. Okay, so this person says one of the cons that they really didn't like was Scarlet. She was passive, lacked spirit, and calls Tella selfish. Okay, I feel like this is going to be a hit or miss. I'm curious if this person tried the second book, because the second book actually follows Donatella. But I've noticed that a lot of people do either prefer Scarlet's point of view or Donatella's point of view. So Scarlet's point of view might not be for you. I actually feel like her character was very big sister vibes, because this person saying, like, calling Tella selfish like every other sentence, like, I love my sister so much I'd do anything but tell her so selfish, she doesn't care about anyone but herself. A lot of older sisters will think like that. I don't have the best relationship with my sister, but I know a lot of sisters do have like that. Like, I love her, but she has faults, and obviously everyone has faults, nobody's perfect. So I don't necessarily feel like that's valid, because I feel like that is realistic in a sister relationship. I don't know, it could just be me, because like I said, I don't have the best relationship with my sisters, so I don't know how other people do, but that's fine. Okay, so that was 4 reviews, I think. So we'll do one more review and see what this last person says. Okay, so this person says Caraval is the biggest disappointment of 2017. You spelled Caraval wrong. That's weird. the book is literally right there when you're writing a review. Okay, so what I'm seeing is everyone has the same problems with the book, and it's all problems I disagree with. Everyone talks about the world building, which I found the world building to be completely fine. I really liked it. The way she set up the mystery of this game that no one really knows what's going on unless you're in the game. And even then you kind of don't know. The characters, like I said, I wonder if they read the second book because it follows a different sister. And I know that that perspective is either hit or miss for most people. The insta-love romance, I can't because it wasn't insta-love for me. Absence of any real stakes. I don't know, I can't say anything other than I disagree because there is that sense of urgency for Scarlet to find her sister before the game ends. And Scarlet also has, like, in the back of her mind that she does want to get back home and not be in Caraval or anything like that. So I do feel like there was definitely a sense of urgency from the beginning because Scarlet already knew that she had somewhere else to be, but needed to find her sister and make sure she was safe first. So I find it very difficult to really understand any of that. And then this person actually mentions the twist. They said, Caraval has a lot of twists, but I don't think the book earned them all. They are borderline ridiculous at times. Personally, this game is unpredictable, so I feel like any twist that Stephanie Garber could have thrown in was fair game. Because as a reader, you don't know much. Like, you know just as much as the characters know. You know just as much as Scarlet knows. So I feel like nothing necessarily could have came out of left field. And I actually really liked all the twists and how Stephanie Garber formed the world around the twist. And like, oh, you kind of thought you had it figured out, but you kind of really don't. I really like that about the twist, but I mean, again, that's my own opinion. Okay, so that's like all of the actual like reviews I'll focus on. I will preface anyone who wants to read this book or has read this book. I have never read The Night Circus, so if you have read Caraval and The Night Circus, I am curious on that because everyone who hates Caraval is hating it because it was compared to The Night Circus, and I feel like that's just unfair because you're going in with false expectations thinking that it's like one book, but on the other hand, people are saying like, oh, it's too much like this book. Nonetheless, I don't really have opinions on that. I've never read The Night Circus. I love Caraval through and through. The characters will have my heart the rest of my life. If you did not know, I will be hosting a sort of like a read-along with the Caraval trilogy. So I will be doing like a read-along with the first 3 books. So Caraval we will be reading next month in June, Legendary will be in July, and Finale will be in August because Stephanie Garber's new book, Once Upon a Broken Heart, comes out in September. So I will be hosting a read-along with these. I'm not sure when, and I'm really not sure like how it's going to go. I think I'm just gonna host like a live show towards the middle end of the month for each book with their month. So I would recommend following me on Instagram and or Twitter. Not sure about Twitter, I don't really update there much, but definitely Instagram, and I will put out like a schedule at some point on when the live shows will be for each book. But like I said, it'll be 1 book a month starting in June. So June, July, August. That's the plan. Because I want to do a reread. There's a little plug there. Yeah, so what have we learned? We have learned that we need to not compare books to other books. And don't go into a book because you liked another book, I would say. I would also say that if you don't like YA, don't read YA, because I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, the world building or the characters or literally anything was too YA. And I'm just like, well, it's a YA series, so yeah, it's gonna be YA. So if you don't like YA, don't read YA. That's all I have to say. And then lastly, we are not going to slander the characters in Caraval here. We're not gonna do it on this channel, and I don't care what anyone says because I love them. And they're all great. That's it. That's all I have to say. But yes, I've never done a video like this before, so I'm sorry if it's kind of a mess. I'm sorry if what I said was like repetitive or anything like that. Like I said, I've never done a video like this before. But if you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. You can also comment and subscribe down below if you would like any of my socials to follow me anywhere. Are all in the description as always. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye!